A very warm welcome to all of you at One Vote Chaplaincy for COVID times. I'm Amal Sara. I'm a postgraduate student at Forman Christian College, University, Lahore. And I also work at the Women Development and Service Society, Diocese of Raivan, Church of Pakistan. As we all know, we are celebrating International Women's Day today. And this is my privilege that I am here to share about the issues that are being faced by the Pakistani women, and how the role of church is helping them to overcome all these problems and to come up strong and empowered. Before I start with sharing the issues faced by the Pakistani women, I would like to share what Sir William Golding says about women. I think women are foolish to pretend they are equal to men. They are far superior and always have been. Whatever you give a woman, she will make greater. If you give her sperm, she will give you a baby. If you give her a house, she will give you a home. If you give her groceries, she'll give you a meal. If you give her a smile, she'll give you her heart. She multiplies and enlarges what is given to her. I think this is a beautiful explanation of a woman. Women are architects of a society. They make up nations. They are mothers, they are sisters, they are wives, and they are daughters. Whatever form they are in, they are beautiful. They are caring, protective, loving. But we need to also ask ourselves, are we being protective towards them? Are we being caring and loving towards them? And I think Women's Day calls us to think on these lines. And today I'm going to share some of the issues which Pakistani women are facing from many decades, and until now they are facing these issues. And one of the main issues faced by our Pakistani girls and women is restricted powers of decision making. Women and girls in our society from a very early age are taught to sacrifice. It's considered obedience, it's considered love from their side if they are sacrificing their happiness, if they are sacrificing their education, if they are sacrificing their rights and their happiness and opportunities for male members of their family, for other dominant members of their family. They are found very obedient daughters when they are sacrificing. But when they come up and they share what's in their heart, when they share what are their desires to education, their desires to career, their desires to getting married, so their decision-making powers are suppressed to such an extent that many of the girls have been murdered in the name of honor by their own family members. And I think this is still prevalent in the Pakistani society. Girls are not given the right to decide for themselves. They are not given right to access to education, to marry to a desired partner. And women are becoming depressed every day because before getting married they have to always take care of the honor of their father and brother, and after being married they have to always take care of their husband and children. I meet so many ladies, so many women in our community, and when I ask them, what is your desire, what you want to do, and they always say that we always want our kids and our family to be happy. We always want to see them happy in their lives, getting food on their table, dressing up better, getting education and good health. But when I ask them, what about you? They always say, Baji, this is our life. Our life is only surrounded by our family. This is something we are enjoying and this is our life. We have suppressed the powers of the women in Pakistan to such an extent that their identity has been lost. We are always surrounded by questions like, what will people say? What will the society say? What will my parents think? What will my relatives think if I will decide on my own? And I think this is a very, very big issue which nobody talks about. Nobody cares to even think about it. And the second most important thing is that many of you have seen news on social media, on news channels. You might have read about forced conversions issue that is so burning issue in Pakistan these days, that daughters, women from young girls from families who are unable to afford to send their daughters to schools or to colleges, or to provide them a life with all the opportunities. These girls get attracted to men who are giving all these attractions to them. And when these women get manipulated, they forcefully convert them, they rape them, and eventually these girls are murdered. And sadly, this has become the new normal in our Pakistani society. And this is increased to such an extent that people just say, oh, that's a sad incident that has happened. But nobody is trying to overcome or to help these women come out of it. I think this is a high time that church need to understand their responsibility. State need to understand their responsibility. What is making these men who are having all this money and attractions for these girls to become so fearless that they don't even think that we are going to manipulate a girl? What will people say? What will my family say? What will relatives say? When they are not thinking, why this is always imposed on girls to think on these lines. These men, they always come up with fearlessly, and they manipulate these girls because they know that their family is not going to do anything for them. Church is not going to do anything for them. State is not going to say anything to me, and I can do anything with this girl. Church and politicians, sadly, I would say that we are all running towards securing our positions. We are all running towards making names. We are superior, we are this and that, but we are not focusing on what our women and girls are going through in our society. And I would like to request all our politicians, all our church leaders to please look at us. To please look at your daughters in the congregations who are suffering on hands of these predators who are manipulating us. Thirdly, one of the biggest issue that we face in the Pakistani society is that the young girls are not registered at their time of birth, because people have no awareness to their legal rights. They have no awareness about that if the identification proof would not be there, these girls will be excluded from their right to education and to their right to medical facilities. They can easily become trafficked because traffickers would know that, oh, these girls are vulnerable, they do not have anyone to look after them, and these girls will become a soft target for them. So this is a very big issue, and I think we need to understand and we need to raise awareness that registration of girls is very important. And in remote places of Pakistan, especially in rural areas and slums, registration of females is not taken into account, and this is creating many problems for them. Lastly, one of the biggest issues that I would like to highlight is less opportunities for females. Employment opportunities are very rare, because this also highlights one of the weaknesses of the education system in Pakistan, because education system is not uniform. Public sector and private sector has a very big difference in terms of providing education, quality education. And so preference is given to females who are graduates from a very prestigious institutes, but less privilege will be given to females who are from rural background, for example. So in this case, what these females do, they tend to find menial jobs. They tend to go to factories and earn. And when they are exploited, when these girls are exploited at these workplaces, many problems arise. Forced conversions takes place, rapes takes place, and these girls are murdered, they are exploited and trafficked as well. So all these things have deteriorated the smooth fabric of society. Girls are suppressed, they cannot think of themselves, and they are groomed, they are developed in such a with such a mindset that thinking about themselves make them feel selfish. They think that, okay, if we will just think about ourselves, not our family, not our relatives, not the society, we are disobedient girls. But this is not the case. This is not right. You are born individuals, free individuals. Caring for your family is a very good thing, but start caring for yourself as well, for your rights, for your education, for your health. Lastly, I would like to highlight what the church is doing, how the church is helping these women. And here I would like to talk about the contributions of Women Department at the Diocese of Driving Church of Pakistan. From the last 32 years, from 1989, WDSS is helping these women who are belonging to villages, who are belonging to slums, and many skill trainings were provided to these females, and especially to those who were unskilled, who were illiterate, and so that they start to identify themselves and they start to earn for themselves. They feel comfortable, they feel independent and not self-dependent on not to depend on anyone, but to become independent. And I would like to here share a very important thing that in early 2000, there were some women who belonged to local Christian community in Lahore. They came to our then Bishop Seni, Right Reverend Samuel Azariah, and these women asked the bishop to please help us, because we are living a very difficult life. We have to cater to the needs of our men in our society for a handful amount of money, because our husbands are drug addicts. We don't have money to afford education and health for our children, and we have to sell our dignity, we have to sell our honor in order to arrange food on the table, in order to send our children to school. So please help us. With the cooperation of Bishop Sani and the Women Department, our training institute was established in year 2005 with the aim to empower our women in these localities, to enable them to earn for themselves, to live a dignified life. And so two trainings were started. One was vocational training and the other one was midwifery training. Vocational training was given to these females, and it is being given to them until now. Women who belong to weak families, who cannot afford finances, and so these women were encouraged to deviate from those paths and start to learn some skills, and so that you can earn honorably and sustainably. So they sent their daughters, those women who were female sex workers, they sent their daughters for midwifery training, for vocational training, and in all these 16 to 17 years, we are now able to almost 5,500 plus females have certified. They are working in different hospitals of Lahore. They are working in also in different hospitals around Pakistan, and their family lives have changed. Their family lives have transformed. They are earning a very handsome amount of money for their children. They are able to send them to school. They are earning for themselves, and their households have changed. They have transformed. Then we are also giving training to our females through capacity building programs. We highlight different social issues that are prevalent in our society. and we help women to understand how they can protect themselves, what are the health issues, and how they should take care of their health as well. So I think we are able to make some difference in all these years. We are able to transform our daughters, we are able to transform our mothers and sisters. And I think on this Women's Day, I would encourage every one of you who are working in whatever capacity, please shift your focuses and start to realize the importance of a woman in your life. You have a daughter, you have a wife, you have a mother, you have a sister. Try to talk to them, try to give them emotional support. This is all that we need. We need your love, we need your trust, your care, your protection, and your emotional support. And I think what the church is doing, I think that's a very good thing, and I think what individuals can do, we should start doing from today. And I think we can all, if start to love each other, when we start to care for each other, I think we can all make a difference in the society, in our family lives, in our family structures. And I think church also need to shift its focus from not just securing positions, but to cater to the needs of the congregation, cater to the needs of the women and girls who are being forcefully converted, who are being raped and killed. And I think this is a message from Pakistan to the whole world, that this is high time we start to embrace women. We start to accept that they are the architects of society. Embrace them as equal partners, not subordinates or inferior person from another gender. And I think when we will start to think on these lines, we can surely make a difference, and this world will definitely become a protective and a better place for women to live and survive. Thank you very much.